Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In today's video, I am going to explain how to create horizontal navigation menu component with submenu in PowerApps application. And before we get into the video, let me introduce myself. I am Harita, working as a Power Platform consultant. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe for more tutorials on PowerApps. Now let's get into the actual video. So here you can see I created a top horizontal nav menu with the submenus, and this menu bar includes the company logo and the company name and also current logged in user image. So if I click on any of the screen names that I mentioned here, it takes me to that screen. Now let's see how to implement this one. Okay, for this application I have taken these many screens. So you can see home screen, view all ticket screen, create new screen, which I have mentioned in this one. Open the formulas property for this app object, and then here we need to provide these code. So here you can see I have mentioned that nav menu items in the table format. So if you observe carefully, I have this table containing the three columns. One is ID, name, and the screen. So ID we are providing sequentially starting from the one until how many screens we are taking, and then name, in this name field we are specifying the screen names, and in the screen column we are giving the actual screen names. So in the home screen we are not going to give any submenus for this one. So I simply took the home screen, and then coming to the tickets, here you can see we have two screens are there related to tickets. So view all tickets and create new tickets. So to keep all these under one these tickets, I created like this. So the third column is the submenu, and this submenu is again one subtable. So this table is containing the ID, same like this ID field and the name field. So this name field is nothing but this create new ticket and view all tickets. And the screen name here we are providing the actual screen name for this create new ticket and view all tickets. So like this for the submenu containing the one table, that table containing the two records. Same like for the settings, we have two types of settings. One is profile settings and change password. So these two we have giving under this settings menu. Same for the support, and I created one more record. This record is containing the properties like menu, menu preset, submenu, and submenu preset. So for all these values, I took the color values. So why I took this one? Here you can see this component is containing the color, right? So this is the menu one. Whatever the menu it is containing, all these colors are or specifying this color. And when we click this one, here the color was changed, right? So to define all these colors, we took this record. Now to create the component, here you can see there is a component section. Click on this one. So here I already created the component. Now we will create one more component so that I can explain how we can able to achieve this one. So in order to create a new component, click on this new component, then it will add, and then this option will be there, access app scope, enable this one. And for this component width property, instead of this one, provide app dot width. So this will take the entire app width. Now you can also rename this one, this component, instead of component one we will provide now within this we will add one horizontal container. So for this one, provide the x and y positions 0, and then the width property you can see provide the parent dot width, and same the height also parent dot height. And also this drop shadow you can choose none, and the border radius provide 0, and you can rename it. Now within this add one vertical container, and here provide the minimum width as a 0, and same minimum height as a 0, and the drop down shadow as a none, and border radius to the 0, and you can rename it. I renamed this container as a container hyphen complete detail. And now again within this add one more horizontal container. Make sure the justify horizontal align will be the start, and you can provide the minimum width to be 0, and then the flexible height turn it off and provide the height as a 50, and then the border radius you can provide to 0, and the drop down shadow you can choose the none. and rename it to the container complete details too. Within this container, we need to add one more horizontal container. So let me choose the horizontal container and rename it as a container complete details 3. For this one also, justify container, you can choose the start, and for the align container, keep in the middle, and then minimum height will be there, so choose provide this one as a 0, keep it turn it on only, and minimum width you can provide 0 instead of 250, and then the border radius you can change it to 0, and the drop down shadow provide it to none, and also update the left property padding 1 with the 20, and then provide the gap as a 10. And now within this container we need to add the image control. So I will add the image control. This is for showing the company logo, so I will change it to img mp logo, company logo. And now for this one, you can update the height property with the 40 we will take, and then same the width property also same you can take, because we are going to create the company logo with the circle icon like this. So we need to provide the height and width will be the same, and the border radius will be half of that. So I will provide the 20, and then make sure this will be in the center. Now to display the company name, add one more text label within this container. So I will provide label, and in the text property you can simply provide your company name. I will provide Tsinfo, and then font size you can choose the font weight also you can change. And now the minimum height property will be there. Change this align in container to the stretch, so we can able to see the minimum height. So that one you can provide 40, and then make sure this flexible width is turned on, and the minimum width you can provide the 0. So now here you can see within the root container they have added the gallery control. So we will also need to add the gallery control within this one. So in the main container, add one horizontal blank gallery, and for its items property you can provide the nav menu items that we created over here. So in the app formulas property you can see this table name nav menu items, copy it and come to these components, and here for this gallery items property you can provide that one. Now you can see it is containing the names, and for all the screen names, and then now we have to update the remaining fields like template padding. So for this one here 5 it is there, you can provide the 0, and then the template size is there. So here by defaultly it is giving this formula, we will update this one. So here we need to write self dot width by self dot all items count. So it will automatically adjust the template size whenever we are increasing the menu items within this, and if we are increasing or decreasing, that time template size will automatically adjust. And now you can see here for this gallery's width property, the previous gallery menu, you can see the width property I have given self dot all items count into 150. So we will update this one here, turn it up the flexible width and provide the width property with this self dot all items dot 150. And now within this gallery we have to add one more container. So just click on that one. I will add vertical container. So for this one, just check the justify content should be the justify vertical will be the start, and this align horizontal will be the stretch, and then the x and y position should be 0, and the width property we need to update. So here also you can see the width property will be there. So just to provide parent dot template width. So the gallery template width it will take, and now the height property will be parent dot height, and then the border radius will be 0, and the drop down shadow will be the none, and you can also rename this container as a container menu. And now within this vertical container add one normal container like the regular one, and for this one update the properties like the minimum width you can take it as a 0, and the flexible height turn it off, and the height you can provide it as a 40 or 50 also you can choose, and then change the drop down shadow to none and the border radius to be 0, and rename this container as a container menu 2. Within this container menu to add one button control, and for this button control update the properties like x and y position will be 0, and the width will be parent dot width, and the height will be the parent dot height. So here you can able to see this one, and you can provide the fill property with this color dot transparent, and then the hover fill and the preset fill with like this, and you no need to worry about these codes. The description box below I have provided a link where you can get all the steps and this code for this implementing this horizontal component nav menu, and then in button on select property provide this code. So now let's understand what this code was doing. So here within this switch function I am checking three different conditions. So the first one is blank of this item dot submenu. So this menu item does not have any submenu, then it just need to navigate to that screen. So I have provided the navigate function, and then we need to close any open submenu. So for that one assign the false value for this where menu open variable, and the second condition is where menu selected dot id equal to this item dot id, which means whenever we are clicking the same menu item again we need to keep it selected. So for that reason for this variable I gave this item, and then I'm toggling the submenu when it is open or close. So when it is true then it will become, when we click on this one it becomes false, and when we click again then it will become true, which means it will open and close when we click that button. And then here I updated the submenu height based on how many items it has. Per each item we are giving 40, and this is the default case in the switch function. No condition, just it needs to run, otherwise false. So this will select the new item and it will open the submenu. So and we are setting the height of the submenu based on the number of submenu items. And now within this container hyphen menu 2 we need to add one more horizontal container. Now let me choose this one, make this one reorder to the top, bring to front, and for this one we have to update the following properties. So the drop down shadow should be none, and the height and width will be the parent dot height and width. Now let me change all these things. Now I updated all the properties. Let me explain what I updated. So for this container x and y position I updated the values as a 0, and the width will be parent dot width and the height will be parent dot height. So here you can able to see that one. And then here the justify horizontal will be the center, and the vertical one will be the stretch, and then we have to update the drop down shadow will be the none, and here only you can able to see that one, and the border radius should be the 0. And later we have to update the fill property, and here I have provided this code app dot active screen equal to this item dot screen will check is this menu item screen the currently active screen or not. If it is yes it will apply the preset menu style, and here the lookup statement will check, it will looks through the submenu items of this menu item, and it also check if the current screen is one of the submenus. If it is yes it will apply the this menu preset color for that one, otherwise it won't apply. And now within this container menu we have to add one text label which will display the nav menu items. So I will add the one text label, and for this text label we have to update the properties, the text property with the this item dot name, and that align in container we need to make it as a stretch, and for the minimum height and flexible width will be on, and the minimum width will be 0. Now let me update those values. Okay, now I updated this label. So I renamed it as a LBL item, and then the text property is that this item dot name, and the font will be 13, and I enable this flexible width property, and now the minimum height and minimum width will be 0, and you can make this color property as a white color instead of the black. By defaultly it will give you the black color. And then within this container only we have to add one icon, that is for to add collapse and expand icon. So for that one add one icon, and for this icon we have to update the following properties. So let's understand here for the icon property I have provided one condition here. Whenever the menu will be open and also the selected item id will be matches with the where menu selected item id, then that time children up icon will be visible, otherwise down children icon will be visible. And then for its visible property I have updated this code, so it will be visible only for the item which is having the submenu. Make the minimum height as a 0 and width will be 15, and align in container you can keep it as a stretch. And then within this horizontal container menu we have to add one more regular containers. So type for the container, you can see this one. And for this container we have to update these values like the flexible height will be on, minimum width and height, and the radius and drop down shadow. Let me update these values now. Okay, now you can see I renamed this container as a container submenu, and I updated the minimum height and width as 0 values. And this align container will be the stretch, the drop down shadow is none, and the border radius is the 0. And now within this one we have to insert one gallery control, and this time we have to add the blank vertical gallery because we are using this one to display the submenu items. And for this gallery we have to update these properties. So the item properties will be this item dot submenu, and the parent width and height will be the parent dot width and height, and template size, template padding, show scroll bar, and the navigation. These properties we have to update. Now let me update this one. Okay, now you can see this gallery control. I updated the data source with this item dot submenu, and the width will be parent dot width and height as a parent dot height. And this show scroll bar option I disable, and template padding will be 0. Template size will be 40. I commented the default code. And now within this I have added one more button control. Either you can copy this button control which we created in this menu too, or if you created as a new, we have to update the following values. So let's see for this button. So the width will be parent dot width, and height will be the parent dot template height because we are under this gallery. And then remove the text for this button control, and the x and y position should be 0. And let's come to this color property. You can take color dot white, and then the fill property will be transparent. And then the hover fill and pressed fill properties are there. You can provide these RGBA values. Same for the pressed fill. Now to display the submenu values within this gallery, add one more text label. Search for label, and you can see this one. And for this text label we have to update these properties. Okay, now I updated the label control properties. So here you can see the x and y position values are 0 and 0 only, and the width will be parent dot width and height parent dot template height. And the text property we need to take this item dot name, so it will display the submenu screen's name. And you can change the font and font size according to your requirement. That's it. And the fill property will be if it is active screen, then if the current screen is equal to the active screen, then the nav menu theme submenu preset color will be applicable, otherwise submenu. Now within this container menu we have to add one more horizontal container, that is for adding the current user image. So in this component you can able to see here we have added that horizontal container that is for displaying the current user image. Now let's see what are the properties that we have to update for this horizontal container. So I'm adding the horizontal container, and these are the properties we have to update. This justify horizontal and vertical will be the center, and then I for this align in container I choose the set by container. And then for this height property I updated the 50 value, and then I turned off this flexible width, so the width property came. For this one I provided the 70, so it is taking this much width and height. And this drop down shadow you can choose to none, and the border radius you can provide the 0. Okay, now we are good to go. So within this, we have to add one image control to display the current user image. Now for this image control image property, I have user dot image. So this user function will retrieve the current user image, and then I set the height and width property as a 40 to get to make the image in circle. I provided the border radius as a 20. If you don't want, you can make it as a 0. Then it will come in a square shape. And then I choose the set by container for this align in container, and this one will be the center. And previously I forgot to inform for this updated for this container user update the fill property with nav menu theme dot menu. Now within this component we have to add one more horizontal container. So I will choose the horizontal container. So for this container, we have to update the following properties. Now for this container, we have updated this justify horizontal and align vertical will be start one. And then the color property we have taken nav menu theme dot menu, and this drop shadow will be none and border radius will be the 0, and its it will be parent dot width, and height I have provided manually like 50. And here we forgot to update one thing. So when we open this container menu, under this gal menu we have this, sorry, the sub menu. So here this one needs to be visible only when we click on this icon, otherwise it should be in the hidden mode. So I will provide this formula. So whenever we select that one, when that item is matched, that time only it needs to display. And now save the changes. And one more thing, we forgot to update the company logo. So for this image, the sample image is there. We can choose any other one. Let us take from stock images only. I will choose this image this time. So you can see the image came here, and now the component name is horizontal menu component. Now to test this one, we will add here in the screen. I already added this component. I will remove this component now, and within the screen click on this insert tab. Under the custom you can able to see the components that we created. So since we created the horizontal menu component, I will click on this and then it will add it. Now save the changes and play the app. You can also change this font color with the white color, so it will be looking good. And now you can see it is working fine. And let me click on this dashboard. You can see the screen name is changed. So here I didn't provide any data in the screens. I just provide that screen names. You can able to see, right? So just the screen names I provided. In the previous screens, this is the previous component which we developed already. And this is the new one that I created in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.